Hi YouTubers, welcome to my channel. This is the first of a series of 4 in the distressed wood looking cookie set. Kind of a beachy art, if you will. And I started out by cutting out my shapes. You don't have to be perfect in the shapes. And then I use a Americolor gels in white, ivory, and turquoise. And I'm just going to paint these on before baking. Now want to put these on and then freeze it for at least half an hour and then bake them and like you normally would, and that gives you the crackle look. You won't taste these, they have no taste, the paint doesn't. And if you notice this one that I'm painting on, I didn't have any specific shape. This one will be the lighthouse cookie, and I just wanted it to look like it had torn edges, or not torn, but rough edges like a piece of wood. So I just kind of shaped it with my hand, the shape I wanted, and then rolled over it with my rolling pin to smooth it to the thickness that I wanted. And then I add turquoise to represent my water. And now I'm adding the ivory on the edges. I wanted a brown, but I couldn't find a brown that I really liked. And I discovered that the ivory painted on in its gel form was the perfect brown that I wanted. And then once you have your cookies painted on, you don't have to put any kind of top on them to put them in the freezer. Just put them straight in if you're going to bake them within the 30 minutes. I don't like to put the plastic on these after I paint them because I don't want the plastic to pull my paint off. And then just bake as you normally would. Now we'll make the lace. I've tried different lace formulas that I have bought at Hobby Lobby in different places, and I cannot get those to work. They want to tear apart when I try to demold them. So I use sugar sheets. It's called flexible fabric sugar sheets, and I buy them on Etsy. And a fellow YouTuber, creator on YouTube, My Little Bakery, she has an Etsy shop, and I buy these sheets from her. And I think in one of my other videos, or actually a few, I'm showing the sheets. So if you'll look on there further, and I may post a video of just how to do the lace. But you'll see, here's a sheet. You wet them. First you peel the back off, and then just dip it in water and lay it on your mold. And as you see, it starts dissolving very quickly. And then you just use a little scraper, and I also buy these scrapers from her shop, and they have them in every size. She has a lot of good tools. And you just do it like the other sugar laces, but this, because it is a flexible lace, it doesn't tear up, like the Sugar Veil and other ones that I've tried. I just cannot get Sugar Veil to work for me. Everything just destroys. You want to make sure you get it in all the little crevices. This one is a very delicate mold. You have to be a little bit more careful with this than you do your other ones, like the burlap or any of those. Just because it has the little fine fishnet looking lines. But that's why I chose this mold also for this cookie, because I wanted it to have that fishnet look. And then even when you demold it, if there is some tears, it's not a big deal in this type of cookie, because fishnets usually have tears in them. If you look at, like a lot of wall art. And I just let mine set overnight. I've actually let it set a couple of hours before, and it was dry enough. But this particular net, I just let it sit overnight because I didn't want it to stretch or tear, because it's already, quite delicate. As you'll see right here, that center part, you have to be very careful. It wants to pull away a little bit from the other pieces, but that's okay. Once you put it on your cookie, you can't even tell. And you can get this type of mold too from My Little Bakery's Etsy shop. And voila, there it is. Now we're going to distress the wood a little further. I like to take my little mini grater or miter and kind of chisel down some of the edges and give it a little bit of a rougher look. And now to apply the applique. I cut this one in half because I only want it on one side of the cookie. So you want to, cut it down to size. You might have to take a little bit off, just because you don't want it sticking out over any of the edges. paint water on the cookie. Don't get it overly wet or it will melt. And then place your applique on. If you have any edges still sticking up too, you can paint under them or even on top of them. Sometimes on that outer edge, I'll press it down with a damp brush just right over the top. This dries rather quickly too, so you won't have to wait to decorate it. And I've decided to just add a couple of pearls. They're made out of Malling chocolate, so they're not hard. They're not like the dragées that break your teeth when you bite into them. These are just chocolate. And keep this cookie kind of simple and let the distressed look and the applique be the star runner. And don't forget to check out my other videos of the sailboat, wall art, and what else do we have? The seashells on the net, and that's another sugar lace there. That one is pretty easy to make.